Hey everybody, how you doing? So Tipsy Tuesday. So I'm going to be going through my list of questions here that people have been asking me. And one thing that I don't know a lot about, but I can maybe offer a little bit of insight um, from the inner critic part. So a question was asked that I want to learn more about art and card making. That's all she said. So thank you for your question. These questions were all submitted through a poll. Uh, were anonymous as 28 pages of them. If you'd like to submit a question, you can always go to ArtPlace.ca, click contact, and fill out the contact form there. If you would like your question read online, but you don't want your name mentioned, just put that in the comments to keep it anonymous. Okay? To learn more about art and card making. So that's pretty vague. Depends on what you want to call art. If it's just the thing of creating with your hands, and you mentioned card making, so I'm thinking it's probably more towards that. It's more of what do you want to learn and why do you want to learn it. So let's take, we'll take card making because that's specific. I've tried card making. I'm not good at it, not from the aspect that I don't think I'm good at it. I don't have enough interest or motivation to become really good at it. And that's the key. It's the motivation. If you want to learn something bad enough, that's the motivation. You have to want to really learn it. If you, let me ask you two questions. So, and this can apply to everybody. If I were to give you a choice to say, you can only pick one, would you like to learn how to do your own taxes? Or would you like to learn how to create an acrylic painting that you can sell? Okay, well, you know what? I can tell you right there what I would choose. Who wants to learn to do taxes? I mean, that's such a negative thing. Now, if I worded it differently to say, how many of you would like to learn how to do taxes so you can charge people to do their taxes, or just learn how to do acrylic painting? See how that kind of flips it around? One you can actually make money from, which is a much better motivator than just learning how to do something. So I'm not saying that you have to make money on everything, it's just that motivation. So you want to learn how to do card making or you want to learn how to do art. Why? Why do you want to learn it? It could be because you want to make gifts for people, you want to explore your own creativity. You have to find that why that makes it so strong that you'll do anything in your power and safety that you'll do everything you can to learn it. And what I mean about safety is that you're not going to stay up for 18 hours a day just doing this thing. So to do art, well, what, again, that's pretty vague. So we'll work with card making. What do you want why do you want to do it? Do you want to make cards for people? Do you want to make cards that you can, in this crap of a pandemic, be able to sell to make a little bit of extra money? Like, why? And then once you figure out that why, you can kind of break it down as to what you need to learn. So let's say you have your why. You know why you want to learn how to do card making or this specific art thing. And break it down. What do you need to know? Well, first of all, of course, you know that I'm big on the planning and the foundation. What are the basics? Write it down. Just kind of work backwards. So you know why you want to do it. And then let's say you want to just make them as gifts. Then you break it down. Well, gifts for who? Write that down. So you kind of work backwards. The why, and then who you want to make it for, or the reason why, who you want to make it for. Then break that down. Well, if you want to make gifts for or card making for new moms, what are the themes? If you want to make cards for guys, new themes, and even that guys, break it down. It's not just guys, grandfathers, fathers, brothers, sons, those types of things. Break it down. So let's take the one for the guys. So I want to make cards for guys focusing on new grooms, guys who just got married. Okay, the style. Well, I'm into steampunk, I'm into vintage, but would they like it? Well, that all depends. So you can break it down to guys who like camping, who like RVing, who like swimming, who like playing pool. You've got those themes. Okay, so let's take one that's who likes camping. Okay, so you want to make a card for a guy who's a new groom who likes camping, break it down. Okay, what do you need for that theme? And just break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down to the absolute bottom thing is the absolute basics. What are the actual techniques you need to learn? You need to learn the types of paper to use. You need to learn color combinations, proper color combinations. You need to know a little bit of typography, the actual fonts. So, because a frilly, dainty font is not going to be suitable for a guy who likes camping. So there are types of fonts that are for more rugged wilderness types of things. And then, so like the color combinations. So somebody a guy who's a new groom who is into camping isn't going to like receiving a card that's pink and green, but he may like a card that's hunter green and let's say burnt umber, like those nature colors. Types of cardstock. Well, you don't want to use really, really thin stuff because the card will be flimsy. You want to use something that's really, really thick. How do you want to edge the card? Do you want to cut the corners? Do you want to put a border on it? Well, you don't want to use something frilly. You want to use something rugged. Do you want to use embellishments? Do you want to use stickers? So the absolute basics. So you just work it backwards. And when you write it down, if you have legal size paper and just write it down and just kind of go from there. When you have a plan of how you want to approach something, it is so much better than just willy-nilly winging it. It's so much better than just winging it because you have no direction. So you find your why, you find your who, you just break things down. And once you know that, then you start from the bottom and you learn those things. You kind of start from the bottom. Okay, learn the basics, learn the techniques, learn about color, learn about fonts. And this is specifically for card making. So, and I'm not a card making expert. My eyes are watering. The furnace is on. Oh, I'm gonna hope I don't start sneezing. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. But yeah, so you want to start from the bottom and you kind of want to work up from the basics, and you won't waste so much time buying unnecessary supplies and wasting time on learning stuff that doesn't need to be learned. Okay, so that's what it was. I'm not a card making expert, but I'm coming at it from an actual planning point, how to learn more about something. And you can pretty well, other than the actual techniques, you could pretty well give me any subject and I can give you a plan on how to approach it as long as I have an idea of what the heck the thing is. So if you would say, well, you want to learn how to cook blah, 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 blah from some remote country that I've never heard of. Yeah, I can give you the basic overall steps, but yeah, so it's just breaking it down. All right. So I hope this helps you not if you're just into card making, but art in general. Reverse engineer what you need to learn. Then when you're ready to apply it, start from the bottom and then work up. And try not to look at it from a plan that's this big, your to-do list that's this big. Break it down to small things. Choose Monday, I want to learn about cardstock. Tuesday, I want to learn about typography. And you're going to get stuck down the rabbit hole on that. I absolutely love working with typography, especially with the clients the websites I build for clients. It's a lot of fun, but you have to kind of hold back. Try to choose only two different font styles for your card making. So that's on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, so you've got Monday cardstock, Tuesday fonts, Wednesday learn about color combinations. That's another one that I love. I'm huge. Well, you guys know color mixing, color theory. I'm huge on that. So work on color. Then on Thursday, work on layering cards. Friday, learn about glue because you have to use specific glue for paper. Saturday, work on types of border styles. And Sunday, learn about themes. So it doesn't have to be huge. Take just one thing per day and just learn that thing. And whatever you do not multitask. Multitask is bullcrap. It doesn't work. You want to focus on one thing and focus on that one thing really, really well. Multitasking is just doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Cover your ears. Whole bunch of stuff at the same time. That's half-assed. Okay? Focus on one thing and do it well. Okay, my rant is done. I'm doing a lot of that lately. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'm only going in the Facebook group probably once or twice a day now. Uh, but if you have a specific question, please go to ArtPlace.ca, click the contact link in the menu, and send me your question there. And if you'd like your question read on air, uh, if you don't want your name identified, just make sure you put in the comments that you wish to remain anonymous. All right, you guys, until I see you next time, stay inspired.